Daisy, what is the feeling? Excitement, nerves? Can you put it into words?
Oh, definitely excitement and a bit of a job to do. Yeah, we've spoken a lot this year about getting that balance right between like savouring a win and the moment that was the Saturday just gone, and then getting back in the moment and preparing for what's ahead. Yeah, we felt it was a great day on Saturday, but now we've got a bigger job this coming week.
Have you ever signed a baby?
Yes, as of Saturday. No, that was funny. 6 weeks old, second AFLW Melbourne games. Already been out to the beautiful Casey Fields as well. So yeah, stalwart.
What were those frantic final minutes like out on the field, Daisy?
Stressful. Yeah, like obviously not how we would have liked to end the game, but Brisbane are a quality outfit. We knew and spoke about all day that it was going to take 4 quarters of footy, and it absolutely did. But yeah, I was really proud of our group, the way that off the back of an unusual prep, we turned up ready to play and just played whatever was in front of us, whether that was a bit of a gritty start where neither team could really hit the scoreboard. We held our nerve after half time, good third quarter, and then held our nerve again when they came at us late. So yeah, credit to Brisbane, but I was proud of our girls.
How did the group enjoy playing at the G?
Yeah, good. Hard not to enjoy it when you win a prelim, but yeah, I think getting out there and understanding the historic nature of it wasn't lost on us. I only read this morning that it was Alyssa Bannon's first time she'd ever witnessed footy at the MCG. She'd been there for our club Christmas party at the end of last year, but that was the only time ever she'd been at the MCG. She goes out there and stars and kicks 3 goals, so I think she enjoyed it, and we enjoyed watching her. But no, it was great. Hopefully it's the first of many women's footy matches at the G.
So those are so formidable days, and they've gone and done it twice before, this being your first time. I mean, how big of a challenge are they, especially at home?
Oh, the Adelaide Footy Club are always a challenge. Yeah, powerhouse of this competition. And then yeah, playing them at home where they've played before and they got the better of us last year. It's always a big task, but you wouldn't expect anything less making it to a grand final. We respect them, and they kind of had the better of us even earlier this year, taught us some valuable lessons, but I feel like we've evolved since then. So we respect them, and it's going to take our absolute best, but we don't fear them. Yeah, we're looking forward to playing against them and having another crack.
And you won't like this, but a lot of the game will be built around you and Erin Phillips is 2 of the most outstanding players we've seen in AFLW. Do you ever think about your standing in the game and whether or not you will go around again?
No, I don't really think about it. You know, as soon as the game ends on the weekend, I sort of just straight away think of Mick, Paxi, Lil, you know, everyone that's been involved in this program from the outset. So yeah, I've, you know, there are a few of the ones that have been around since the beginning, but all of our girls have sacrificed, as well as the staff, have sacrificed so much to put ourselves in the position we are and have the opportunity that we do. So yeah, I'll be running out there playing for them and this footy club that's yeah, been right behind us and women's footy from the beginning. And I'm sure the Adelaide Crows are the same around Erin. I mean, she's a champion of the game, and there's nothing she hasn't achieved, but their skipper, Chelsea Randall, didn't get to play in the grand final last year because she got concussed in the prelim. So I'm sure it's not the Erin story at Adelaide either. Footy teams are way bigger than one person, and yeah, that'll be the case at Melbourne and certainly the case at Adelaide as well.
Have you made a decision? Have you made a decision in your own mind whether you're going to go around again next year?
No, I haven't. It's so hard to look any further than beyond what's in front of us. I found that on the weekend it was almost a sense of relief that I knew what I was doing this week, because it had been so hard to kind of look any further than that. You get such tunnel vision when you're at this point in the season. I think any time or any athlete or footballer would speak to that. And for me, I mean, yeah, it's awesome to think that there are other opportunities in the game for me when my playing career finishes, but right here and now, my biggest focus is this team, the opportunity we have, and it's the highlight of my week still to go to training, drive out to Casey on a Thursday to go to training, let alone suit up and play on the weekend. So yeah, if that's still the case at the end of the season, I'll have some big decisions to make and we'll see what happens. But yeah, just savouring the moment that we have right now this week, and then I'll sit down with Ben and the family and make a decision beyond that once the dust has settled on this season.
You have been through a lot to be here, Daisy, and the body too. Were there ever sort of moments when you did embark on playing again after Roy and Sylvie were here that you maybe wondered whether this opportunity might ever happen for you?
I reckon as a mum you know the answer to that, Lauren. But yeah, oh absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's always a challenge. This season's probably the first time physically I've felt myself again since having the kids and wasn't kind of in catch-up mode. But yeah, it takes a lot for any athlete to get up and through a footy season. And then with kids and carrying them, it's got its extra challenges as well. So yeah, there were times where I wondered whether it would be possible, but I think the biggest thing, and I say this to expectant or parents all the time, that you're still yourself when all of those challenges kind of come upon you. Like when I had the kids and that kind of thing, I was still a competitor at heart and wanted to get back out there. So that, and being around the teammates that I love kind of has always driven me to keep getting back to the line.
Will they be there?
Undecided. We sort of decided not, just because of the logistical challenge, and Ben, I think he's earned the right to selfishly just want to watch rather than chase 3-year-olds around the Adelaide Oval. But I said to them yesterday that, oh, you're going to Ali and Pops on the weekend, and they said, oh no, we want to come to the grand final. And I had no idea that they actually had put together that this was a preliminary final and the next one would be a grand final. So the fact that they know that, they've given themselves half a chance.
How's the body after the weekend? It looked like a pretty physical game, and what was the intensity like?
Yeah, like pretty brutal game. Brisbane are a high pressure side, a quick side, powerful team, and then with the conditions, with it being a bit greasy, you just get no relief from it. It's hard to kind of get any control in the game. So yeah, that was felt. But I think coming in off the back of a couple of weeks off as well was kind of a good tune-up, and we've all recovered pretty well now. So yeah, felt it the night of, but yeah, ready to go and hit the track tonight. It'll be good to get moving.
And then what does this week look like?
Yeah, train tonight. We have a skills session tomorrow that most come to, but it's kind of optional depending on work commitments and that kind of thing. Main session Thursday, fly to Adelaide Friday, hit the Crows on Saturday with a few awards and other nights spattered in between. But yeah, that's the main structure from a footy point of view.
And you mentioned a Crows game earlier this year. What did you take out of that loss?
They kind of beat us to the ball throughout a big part of that game, probably for 3.5 quarters. So we were on the back foot, and they just defend the ground so well. So if you're not winning the ball from contest and you're leaving yourself with catch up to do, it's very hard to move it against them from your back half. So yeah, that's kind of been a big theme of our season all the way through, is improving and valuing that aspect of our game. And yeah, I thought against one of the other better sides at it on the weekend, we held our own. So yeah, we got a lot of belief that we're going to be better in that department come Saturday.
And you played in a lot of flags with Darabin. Do you take anything out of that experience for the bigger stage of AFLW?
I guess all those experiences at any level kind of build your bank of what to lean on personally as you approach big games. I mean, I felt pretty relaxed on the weekend. Or as relaxed as you can in a prelim, but like, yeah, and I guess it is from drawing on, getting up for big games that that comes from. But yeah, I guess there's nothing quite like an AFL grand final.
Daisy, moving forward, the prospect of an August start date to the next season, how does that sit with you?
Yeah, again, like, it's kind of hard to look beyond this week, to be honest. I haven't put a lot of thought and attention into it so far. I'm not kind of sitting on PA boards and that kind of thing anymore, so I'm not in a direct kind of line to it all. But yeah, it'll be one of those things that we kind of sit down and consider and chat to the PA with, but it sounds like it's pretty much done and is happening. Yeah, I think it's got its positives. I think it's the right window. I think the challenge for it will be making it happen with this little runway and with 4 new teams coming in this year. But I think AFLW has shown over the journey that every time there's been these moments of growth or change of direction, there's been a reluctance and a fear that there won't be enough talent and there'll be teething issues and that kind of thing. But it's kind of continued to improve year on year. So yeah, I'd back it in to do that again. I think the 2 biggest challenges that come to mind for me is filling 4 teams when you've got to rely on young talent that'll probably be doing year 12 exams throughout much of the season. And then secondly, for the playing cohort that work, I know I've used up all of my favours at work already for this calendar year, and I'm sure, and I work in footy, a lot of my work, so I'm quite lucky. So for those that don't work in footy and have full-time jobs that they're juggling alongside their playing commitments, to go back to the well and ask for more favours and more leave is going to be pretty tricky in the same calendar year. But yeah, they're all things to negotiate and try and get the best outcome for the players.
Is there a sense of significant change ahead with the expansion next season?
Yes, again, I kind of feel like these questions, I'm coming up out of a bit of a bubble that we've created around what we're trying to achieve this year. But yeah, you know, past experience shows that these expansion years, 4 new teams coming in, there's always a bit of upheaval, but yeah, there'll be movement as there is whenever there's expansion, but here's hoping that we keep our core group together at the D's.
Just on a teammate, and I know you're standing over there, it's always quite awkward talking about people in front of them, but you and Taylor obviously share a really strong bond, as you do with, I'm sure, most of your teammates. But there was obviously so much talk about her coming to Melbourne and if she perform, and you must just be so pleased for her to now be, part of this outfit into a grand final.
Yeah, no stronger than my bond with Maddie Gay, Kate Hoare or Libby Pearce. No, absolutely. I mean, I knew Tay before she was coming to play at Melbourne. We'd played some representative footy together through the exhibition series and other camps and that kind of thing. But I didn't know her well. I guess always kind of reached out at different little points just because of the journey that she's on, and it's similar to mine. I mean, you'd kick around playing footy for a long time and doing your thing, working jobs and no one really caring, and then suddenly they do. It's got its challenges and yeah, things that we've been able to share, so that's been nice. But yeah, then obviously the off-season kind of played out the way it did for her, and you read bits and pieces of it and kind of think, oh, I wonder what's going on here. But I couldn't be more impressed with the player in person that we've gotten off the back of that, and I'm so rapt and happy for the club that they've gotten her across, and happy for Tay. You know, there's been talk about the influence that I've had on her, but I take very little credit for what she's doing, because at the end of the day she works her backside off. She's a great teammate, she's got a big heart, and she's very selfless and just goes about every week trying to play her role. So yeah, it's been awesome to have her, and just pretty awesome to play alongside her up close. I know Kate, who plays in the forward line, Kate Hoare, and I often just look at each other and just shake our heads at some of the stuff that she does when she takes a big mark, or the sound the ball makes when she kicks it. No one else makes that sound. It's pretty cool to just watch her play up close.
And you mentioned a bit before, Karen Paxton mentioned a bit before last weekend. She said this is a long time coming for you guys. How exciting is that to, I guess, experience that this week with them and the game?
Yeah, really exciting. Yeah, for those that have been around at Melbourne for the 6 years, it kind of feels like we've been close in every year, and that there's been, percentages and single goals or single stoppages that I can think of in my mind as to the reason why we weren't in a grand final. And then the prelim last year obviously as well, but yeah, we've been close but not good enough ultimately to get there. And then this year so far we've been good enough to get there, and now we're going to go about being good enough to win it.